Hello, everybody. Welcome from my side, and thanks for tuning in today's webinar. My name is Misha Sturzenegger, and I'm one of your hosts in this short overview of how Microsoft Teams has evolved and how SoftwareONE can help you on your journey into a future workplace. A bit of information on me. I'm Swiss. Excuse me if the English is not perfect. I give my best. I'm based as well in Switzerland. Within SoftwareONE, I'm responsible for the global sales of the UC conferencing services. And by the way, in February timeframe, we'll be offering a conferencing webinar focused on interoperability services around Microsoft Teams. So just for your information, stay tuned on that. My personal background is UC and video conferencing. I've worked for companies like Cisco, LifeSize, and Polycom. Within the UC division of SoftwareONE, apart from selling our services, I as well help create new services based on customer feedback, mainly in the conferencing space. So now, enough about me. Let me hand over to our other host, Alex. Alex, please introduce yourself, and I would say you kick it off with the Teams overview.
Sure. So, hey, everybody. And thank you for joining also from my side. And thank you, Misha, for the introduction. My name is Alex Trumbull. I'm half American, as you might have recognized on the name, but I've been in Germany for 25 years now, and I'm live near Frankfurt. I've been in pre-sales for telecommunications and UC companies for various companies for 6 years now. And I am a pre-sales consultant within the UC division, and my daily job is to basically create customer-specific tailored solutions around Office 365 and the communication tools that come along with it, being Skype for Business and Microsoft Teams. As Misha said, I will be kicking off the first part of this webinar, and I will talk to you a little bit about the Microsoft Teams solution before Misha can then tell you more about how we can support you on your journey towards this new solution. So if we look at the communication landscape from Microsoft, that used to look like this. So on the right-hand side, you had the on-premise service, which was the classic Skype for Business server. This was a product that evolved, that started way out in the past with Office Communicator 2007, then evolved to Microsoft Lync, and then evolved to Skype for Business. So it's a product that's been on the market for many, many years that Microsoft has put a lot of effort into developing. And then on the other side, they came out with Office 365 with their online cloud service. And within that online cloud service, they had Skype for Business Online, which was basically, they took the Skype for Business server features and tried to create them and put them into the cloud and provide them as a cloud service. And then what they did, just about a year and a half ago, they introduced Microsoft Teams as, and this is Microsoft specific wording, a chat-based collaboration tool. So Microsoft Teams evolved around chat. The persistent chat was the basis of that collaboration tool. This was the past. Now, officially since the end of November, or what they did is over this past year, over the last 12 months, Microsoft decided to take the Skype for Business features around audio, video, conferencing, and meetings and implement them into Microsoft Teams. And they want Microsoft Teams to be, and again, this is Microsoft's, their own wording, the central hub for intelligent communications. So they want Teams to be the single platform for you to use for, again, your chat-based collaboration, for your audio and video meetings, and for everything that goes along with it. For example, for the Office apps that you can use within Teams. So they want the user to use Teams as their central tool, and so the user does not have to switch tools as often as he might have had to do before that. So this is basically how it is now. Just as a small side note, because it's not specifically on here, for customers that are still on-premise and still want or need on-premise solutions, Microsoft recognized that and committed. And there is now also released about a month and a half ago a Skype for Business server version 2019. So with the regular support cycles that go along with Microsoft products, there will still be an on-premise Skype for Business server for the foreseeable future, because Microsoft did recognize that customers do still need on-premise solutions. So let's look a little closer at actually the Microsoft Teams solution. So if we look at Microsoft Teams, what is integrated? What can you do with it? Microsoft, as I mentioned, the Teams client offers everything around chat, and now everything around calls and meetings. What it also involves, and this is again where Microsoft is building this central hub for your daily work, it also has other Office 365 apps directly integrated into the Teams client, such as SharePoint apps and other customizable and self-creatable apps. So as a customer, if you have a development department, you can actually create your own custom-built app that you integrate into Microsoft Teams that you can then provide for users. So there's a lot that you can do with the platform to individualize and really customize it to your very specific needs. And the whole team service is backed by Microsoft's enterprise security, compliance, and manageability services and solutions. So Microsoft has been investing very, very heavily in security products of their own, which not a lot of people know about. It's been over $1 billion over the last per year for the last 2 to 3 years, and Microsoft is investing heavily into this because they have definitely recognized, obviously, this is a cloud solution, and as a cloud solution, you need the security to go along with it. Otherwise, enterprise customers will not use the solution, and that's why they are spending a lot of money on security as well. So let's look closer into the actual, interesting, or probably the most interesting part for most of the listeners on here of the Microsoft Teams product is the UC part. And we are on a UC webinar, so that's also obviously our main focus. So you can do, as I said, everything you could do with Skype for Business, you can now do in Teams as well. So you have definitely the one-to-one calls. You have the one-to-one or the online meetings. The online hosted meetings. You have screen sharing. You have chat one-to-one. You have group-based chats, and you have team-based chats. So as you do with Skype for Business, you can go into your Outlook and create a meeting and hit Teams meeting, and it will automatically create a Teams meeting that users can then again join with a one click. You can use Teams as a fully fledged telephony solution, including calls to the PSTN as well. So it can be a full PBX, or as Microsoft likes to call it, a full online phone system with calls to the public network as well, which means each user will have their regular dedicated DID phone number to go along with the solution. And as per Microsoft per usual, Microsoft Teams is available across multiple platforms, meaning across desktop devices, both Windows and Mac, and also across your mobile devices such as iOS and Android. And if you invite external people, not from your company, they can use their web browser to join via WebRTC and still enjoy nearly the full feature functionality, such as screen sharing and video and so on, as they could do with the regular desktop client. Now, let's look at just a few screenshots of how the product actually looks like, especially the new features. So this is, if you look on the left-hand side, you have your tabs. And we are currently actually in the calls tab. So this is the tab you have if you use Microsoft Teams as a fully fledged telephony PBX solution. Then you have your regular contacts and your regular call history. You will have your regular dial pad on the left-hand side, and you will also be able to listen to your voicemails directly in Microsoft Teams. And if you have colleagues, you can call them by just simply clicking on the call button, and Microsoft Teams will call them automatically. So everything you would expect from a regular PBX, Microsoft Teams can offer you as is. The next picture is how a meeting will look like, for example. So here you have the meeting layout. Again, on the left-hand side, you have your panels, and we are in the meetings tab. And here you see people sharing their video. On the bottom right-hand side is the usual your own video picture that you can also see. And then you have in the middle the purple round purple buttons. You can do the screen sharing, you can mute and unmute yourself, and so on. A very nice feature, for example, that you see in here that Microsoft Teams offers natively is, for example, also a background blur. So you can automatically select the background to be blurred so other people don't see if you're working from home or not, which is a pretty cool feature that Microsoft released, I think, 2 or 3 months ago. And the next slide is, for example, Microsoft Teams does offer you the option, if you are in a Teams meeting, to hit record and record the meeting. If you do so, the meeting will automatically be uploaded to your Microsoft Stream service, which is a part of the Office 365 stack. It's basically, I don't like to use the name, but it's Microsoft's YouTube, basically. So it hosts your video, you can scroll through it, and what Microsoft does additionally is they use AI on it, and they automatically transcribe what was said. So you can, for example, if you missed the meeting or you want to go back into it, you can search for specific words and then jump directly to that point within the video that you are most interested in. So you maybe don't have to watch the whole 30 minutes or whatever. You can jump to specific sections that you need to listen to and get your work done efficiently and find the info you need most efficiently, which is pretty cool. And as we mentioned in the beginning, obviously, SoftwareONE, especially us from the UC division, we can help you with your complete migration from your Skype for Business environment all the way to Microsoft Teams. This could be, again, you could be in Skype for Business on-premise, or you could be in Skype for Business online, or you could also, if you are a non-Microsoft customer, we can also help you migrate from whatever current system you have to Microsoft Teams. And we can support you on every single step of the way. And more on these steps and our services, I would like to hand the ball back to Misha, because that's his expertise and he'll tell you more about that.
Well, thank you very much on that, Alex, for this great overview. Yeah, the question here is, how can SoftwareONE help you on this journey? And like Alex mentioned, it doesn't matter from where you're coming from. If you have an existing on-premise PBX that you want to transition into a Skype for Business or a Teams cloud environment, we are here to help you. Now, we know that a change of communication strategy can be a bumpy road, and in some cases a huge challenge. That's why, we are here to help create a new communication experience within your organization. And that's our value we bring into play in a scenario and that we face today. And by the way, creating a great communication experience results in much more productive teams. And like it says here on the slide, the foundation of a great team is great communication, and it is true. If the communication experience is seamless, is quality-wise good or great, then people are happy and are willing to communicate. And because it's the base, you need to get your people to communicate. So now let me dive into our offering. How do we approach this? First of all, a very important thing, we do this together with you. So it's not a box that we come and say, hey, let us do it. We engage with you, we take you into this play, we create a solution together with you. We in the traditional world, how SoftwareONE looks at it, we walk through 3 stages together. We start with an advisory part where we get to know your needs and your environment. And this will result in a blueprint on how the future service shall look like. After defining what we need and want, we'll deliver the solution. And after we delivered, we hand it over to the managed service team so they make sure your service is always up and running. A bit more in detail on how the advisory service works or what we do there. We start off with an initial workshop together with you to get a good understanding of what your customers' goals are. We speak about the possibilities. I would say, we have to achieve your goals in terms of technology, timeline, user adoption, a very important point, and how the change process shall look like. We define the solution and the service wrapped around it and get it documented in a blueprint. So, and then a bit more in detail, the delivery stage. So the blueprint gets handed over to a project leader who then is taking all what is defined in the advisory piece in that blueprint and creates a project and a timeline on this project and milestones. A typical project at delivery phase, site by site, and so on. It may as well not be a full-fledged deployment. It could as well be that we say, okay, we start with a proof of concept and we integrate a couple of power users, which you define within your organization. Farewell. That's that is a option as well to do it that way. And by the way, I need to mention this because I just see this mentioned on this slide as well. We were one of the first Microsoft Fast Track partners, meaning we have access to all the resources that we need within the Microsoft organization. We are certified and well appreciated by Microsoft as well. A little bit commercial for our side. Then we move on. As soon as we have delivered the solution or parts of the solution, could be that we take it piece by piece. Individual sites might be from traditional PBX or from Skype for Business on-prem to Teams, and then we move it on into the managed service. And the managed service team will take care that your users are happy and that the service is always up and running, and that we see issues if they occur and solve them before you guys even you will not feel that there are issues in a managed service from us. And remember, no matter what we build for you, we can manage it as well. It doesn't matter if it's an on-prem, hybrid, or cloud solution that we deploy. So next question is, how is this service licensed from SoftwareONE? Now, most of you know SoftwareONE in the call. We like making our services simple, and we like to call them simple as well. That's why we are now introducing a UC Simple offering. UC Simple, in other words, is all of the above, I would like to say. So everything that I just introduced to you, advisory, delivery, managed service, is included in UC Simple and is priced on a per user per month base. So, meaning if you decide to take the UC journey with SoftwareONE, you will have no CapEx. It's all OpEx. So it's advisory, delivery, managed service. You decide to go down the road together with us on all stages, and we pack it into a per user per month offering. On a side note, this as well is one of the offerings we created because customers asked us to assess and deliver within managed service offerings. So this is something we designed because customers asked for it. And we see a big demand for this. Of course, for some customers, this may not be possible to put everything in OpEx, in an OpEx model, or the right choice. No worries, we can, of course, offer the individual UC building blocks as modules on their own, which you see on the other side, on the right-hand side. So project-based delivery, CapEx-based advisory. But interesting piece. Let's a bit more color around UC Simple and a little bit more detail. Looking at the slide you see, you will have options to choose from within UC Simple. So first option is what kind of SLA do I want? Basic SLA is, or basic is 10/5 support. Premium is 24/5 support. Advanced 24/7 follow the sun support. So this is the first choice that you have. What kind of SLA do I want wrapped around the managed service? The second option, and listen please, is called Plus. And Plus includes session border controllers and or media gateways that would be needed to get you transformed into an enterprise voice environment. So no matter, and yes, listen, it doesn't matter how many sites we will need with SBCs or media gateways. It's all included in the offering, and it's all included in the standards price. So no matter how many session border controllers we have to deploy globally, it's included in the same price. So as we said that we will keep this short and simple, this was it for now. I hope this was helpful and interesting in a nutshell. Alex and I are now open for questions. You can put your questions into the chat window, and I hope Alex and I will see them, and we'll answer them if you have any. We'll give you a minute or so time to insert your questions. Alex, do you have anything to add?
No, I mean, really good job. Thank you for that, Misha. And I do see we have the first couple questions coming in.
Yeah,
and I think these are both probably more for you to answer, I would think, right?
Okay. So first question I see regarding the SLA, do we ensure global coverage? Yes, we do, of course. We have 24/7 by 365 follow the sun, meaning that we really have global coverage. Another question I see is regarding this, the languages that we support. So we support 11 languages around the world, one of them, of course, being English. All right, so any other questions there?
That question looks like it would probably be mine.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Do we have a preferred provider for the SBCs and media gateways with UC Simple? That's a good question, and there's a very clear answer. Yes, we do. We are an audio codes partner. We have been an audio codes partner for many, many years, and we have, I think, nearly 10 so-called black belt consultants that are highly audio codes certified. So all our services that we offer around gateways are for audio codes gateways.
Okay. And the next one, I see, oh, there are some coming. Thank you, guys. Okay, what if we plan the advisory blueprint first? Can we then still purchase the deploy? This is deploy managed service on per user per month basis. Of course you can. So the deploy managed, or the managed service piece can always be purchased on a per user per month base. Yes. Another question. Do you have documentation on this for us? Yes, we do. I would ask you please to reach out to your local SoftwareONE contact, or as well look on our homepage after launch, or better say now. You should be seeing this these documentations all around UC Simple or the UC division offering on our webpage, or get it from your local software contact. They're happy to help.
I think the next two questions are probably, I'll take those. So there was one question, do we offer conferencing services in China? Very interesting question. So apparently we have users from companies with locations in China. So the conferencing service is itself, of course, when we're talking about Microsoft Teams, is obviously a cloud solution. So there is, for example, a specific Office 365 China cloud, for example. If you are a customer based in the US and you just have a location in China, your tenant, if you create your Office 365 tenant, is hosted in the US. So you can add users from China to that tenant as well, obviously, because they are your users within your company, within your domain. So you will just add your Chinese users, and they will act as internal users for the rest of the entire company. So yes, depending on the shape or form, but generally, yes, we also offer the services in China. And then there is another question. I would like to know how Microsoft Teams integrates with an on-premise PBX. Very good question. So the nice thing about Microsoft Teams is what you can do. You can take, as I mentioned, an audio code session border controller or a gateway. You can put that on-premise, and you can connect that directly to the Microsoft Teams, to your Microsoft Teams tenant, to the Microsoft Teams service in the cloud. So what you then can do is you take that gateway, you put that on-premise on the picture-wise on the left side, you connect Microsoft Teams and your O365 tenant, and on the right side, you connect your current on-premise PBX, whatever that may be, via a SIP trunk or an ISDN connection, and that's how you interconnect those two systems, and then users can call between the two systems without having to use the PSDN. They can then call each other individually. Okay, here's another question. What if I want to use Teams for conferencing, but we still need to work with non-Teams systems? e.g. Cisco. Misha, I'll give that one to you because I know that's your baby.
That's my baby. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's a very interesting question. Of course, that will work. That's another topic. That's what I mentioned in the side note in the very beginning. That we'll have another webinar around the conferencing services in February time frame. But to answer this now, yes, of course, we do operate an interoperability service. It's called UC Interop, and this UC Interop is connecting Teams with non-Teams or Cisco, non-Teams or Skype clients. So it's a gateway between the standards video base from Cisco, Polycom, or whoever follows the standards into the Skype for Business or Teams world. We have a offering which is called UC Interop. So please reach out to your SoftwareONE contact and ask them about this. There may be a chance that I get involved. All right. Any other questions?
Hi guys, I see one more in the question section. It says, is there any functional difference between SoftwareONE's cloud service provider offering and Microsoft's direct offering?
Okay, we might have to, maybe there was a slight misunderstanding. So we as SoftwareONE obviously don't host the Microsoft Teams service itself. We still, obviously, the Microsoft Teams is only available directly from Microsoft within Microsoft's Office 365 cloud. So we do not offer the Teams service itself, but obviously what we can offer is services around Teams, so the managed service for your Teams tenant. But again, the Teams intelligence, the Teams service itself is always provided by Microsoft through their Office 365 and their data centers.
All right.
Okay, and wait, one more.
Sure.
One more.
Have you heard of
Get it. Keep them coming.
Keep them coming, exactly.
Have you heard of when Microsoft will end support for Skype for Business? He says, sorry if you already covered that.
That's all right. Another very good question. Obviously, something that a lot of customers want to know. So I did mention in the beginning for the on-premise version, again, there is now a Skype for Business server, on-premise server 2019, and regular Microsoft support cycles. Obviously, you can always add around 8 to 10 years that service will be supported. When you look to Skype for Business Online, Microsoft has not yet officially announced any kind of end of life or whatever. And this next is my personal, or our from the UC division, our personal opinions, basically, is it will be around for at least the near future because Microsoft wants customers to slowly and smoothly migrate from Skype for Business Online to Teams. So we're probably talking at least a year or two where Skype for Business Online will be around. And what we also don't know, Microsoft has said nothing about this. Will they then turn it off completely, or will they then just maybe stop adding features and updates? This is something that Microsoft has not commented on yet. So these, again, were just our personal thoughts. The on-premise server, again, version 2019, still supported for then probably the next 8 to 10 years.